This is Akko.
And this is Tamo for the Akko and Tamo podcast, a podcast dedicated to parenting where we explore new perspectives
And share ideas on how to love yourself, love your partner, and shower your children with love.
This is episode 61.
And the topic of the day is what we talk about when we talk about parenting. And before we get started, please take a quick moment to subscribe to our show. Now let's get back to our recent happenings. So recently...
Actually, today, now,
today,
as we speak.
We are recording this in bed while the kids are sleeping.
Yep. We were trying to get this podcast recorded in a different room, but our kids did not want that to happen. They woke up and so we're back in bed right next to them. And we're recording this episode. Yeah, this is something new for us.
Yeah,
huh?
for sure. And hey, it's working, so hey.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, let's get back to the topic of the day. So topic of the day is what we talk about when we talk about parenting.
So parenting is one of the most challenging yet rewarding experiences in life. It's a journey filled with joy, love, and happiness. But it also comes with its fair share of challenges, frustrations, and anxieties. That's something that we've been feeling quite a bit, and sometimes we tend to be drowning in the frustrations and challenges. But there are also always the joy and love and happiness that comes up multiple times a day. It's just that sometimes our mind gets the best of us and we feel that there's more frustration and challenges than the joy. And so as a parent, having a supportive partner can help you navigate this journey together, can make a difference when times are tough and also when times are good. And because of this, we recommend setting aside time to talk to each other about parenting and finding alignment. So first of all, we're going to be talking about the benefits of setting aside time to talk to each other about parenting and then how you can do so. So without further ado, the first one is building a strong partnership. By taking time to talk about parenting with your partner, you'll be able to develop a stronger bond and partnership. And what this does is it allows you to tackle the challenges and frustration that comes with parenting with a lot more ease and softness. And with that said, in the beginning, when you first meet your partner, it's really in the courtship stage. And then as that happens, you get more serious. And then if you decide to get married, you step into another big change where you go into married life. Now, if you've been cohabitating, that's the idea, right? And that's a very similar situation. Now, when you decide to have children, that in itself brings about a big shift. Even compared to marriage, parenting is a major shift. I would say it's a bigger shift than any of those. Yeah. What do you say?
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely not what I expected because I used to take care of kids a lot, but...
And I have to say, you have naturally been great with kids.
Yep. Yeah, I loved taking care of like my friends' kids and everything, but they go back to the parents, so you really don't see the whole picture until you really become a parent. And I was naive in that I thought, this comes so easy to me, and then we had our own kids, and I'm like, this is very difficult. And yeah, the deeper you get into it, it's just more things that you have to think about as far as how you want to raise your kids. And yeah, because of that, it's very important to have that strong partnership. To have that communication with their partner is very important.
Yep. And I also want to add that in our case, having children, it was another step into our own personal growth. And we found that our kids required a lot more energy than we expected. They required a lot more thinking and planning than we expected. And then they'll require a lot more sleepless nights than we expected. And then when it comes to finances, they'll probably cost more than we expected. So it's a lot of requirements. In a sense, each child is different. And you might say, hey, my child is easy to take care of. And if that's the case, congratulations. But for a lot of parents, there's always a lot of challenges that comes with parenting. And just to step back for a bit, the way I personally see parenting and the frustrations that come with it is it's a chance to grow as a person, and particularly spiritually. And then from the spiritual growth, it flows down into your daily life. And then from there, you show a lot more responsibility, more timeliness, and anything that you need to do as a parent, you have a chance to grow. One way that I see parenting is I actually thank my children for helping me grow too. I don't necessarily say that directly to them, but that's the gratitude that I hold in my heart. And I do have to deal with the more difficult emotions that come up. Having that strong partnership, you're able to talk about these things with your partner to continue to build that strong partnership. Although the relationship that I have with Akko, it has been changing. From the day that we first met to now, things have changed. And when we became parents, it took a very big leap in the need to grow. And I think for us, going into parenting, we really built a solid foundation of love, respect, and real care for each other. And that was so solid. It makes the parenting experience a lot more manageable. Because there are days that it just gets very difficult.
Yeah, and then you need to talk to each other, vent about things or discuss things like what can we do differently for a better outcome.
Yes.
And so it's great to have that partner that you can talk to about what you're going through, and because they'll definitely know what you're going through. It's likely it's the same thing.
Yeah. And so that's how we go into the second benefit, which is finding alignment and developing a unified approach to parenting. So having time to talk to each other, really opening up and sharing your experiences and what you're going through, it'll help you find the alignment as parents and develop a unified approach to parenting, so that I may be seeing parenting one way, and then Akko will share her ideas and theories on parenting, and we get to merge that. And sometimes we go, okay, Akko, let's go with what your idea is 100%. We'll test it out. If it works, we keep it. If it doesn't, maybe we can try some idea that I have, and then we get to navigate parenting in that way. And by keeping very close communication with each other as partners, then you can continue to align and shift as your children grow. And I would guess maybe, especially when they're young, they're changing so fast. It's almost like a daily change. We have to shift and align every single day.
Yes. So it's definitely the catalyst to growing as a person.
Yeah.
So it's amazing.
And the third benefit is it increases empathy and care for each other. Parenting, yes, it has its benefits of when you feel that joy, love, and happiness from your children. But obviously, those are the more easy and pleasant emotions compared to the frustrations or the anxiety, the challenges. And by keeping communication and building that strong partnership, it will increase empathy for each other and care for each other. For example, when Akko is starting to feel that I need time for myself, she can see that and feel that and let me know if I'm blind to it. And I can do the same for Akko.
Yeah. And then even when there's times where I'm just becoming a little more short with the kids, Tamo is able to just say, hey, you know what? I'll take the kids out so that you can have a little bit of time to yourself. So we're always watching and feeling our partner, our children's energy, and how this all fits into our family.
Exactly. And especially when you're frustrated or anxious about certain things, you tend to a lot. And when you're contracted, you might not be able to see even how you're feeling, right? So you might actually be blind to your own frustrations and how you're expressing that to the children or to each other. And so by having the empathy and care for each other, we can point that out to each other without any negativity, just saying, okay, maybe you're going to need a break. Hey, let me take the kids out, vice versa. And then you can have time for yourself and just relax or do whatever you need to do and then move forward.
Yeah.
Okay, so with that said, the benefits are great. And then when it comes to how to do this, we have 4 main ways that we would like to share. So the first one is setting aside time. Obviously, this seems obvious, but this is something that has to be done. You have to have time to sit together to talk about parenting.
Yeah. And you don't want to really do it in front of your kids too much. If you really don't have any time, then, you do what you need to do. But most of the time, we do a lot of our discussion at night when the kids are already sleeping.
Exactly. Just like right now.
Yeah, exactly. And then we discuss anything that's on our mind, things that, we wish we did differently or things that we did great. We share our wins and then we share our challenges.
And make sure that you set aside time. If you're more of a person that loves to have things scheduled, then schedule it into your calendar whenever the time works for the two of you. So it might be at night, or it might be in the morning, or it might be in the afternoon when the kids are taking a nap, or if you have older children, maybe there's time during the day that you can sit down for maybe 30 minutes or maybe even longer. And again, it depends. Some days you need more time, some days you don't really need to even discuss. But setting aside time is now for people who don't like to schedule things, feel it out. Once you start getting into touch with how you're feeling, or if your partner is needing time to discuss things, hey, take that opportunity to do so. Now with that said, it brings us into the second point, which is being open and honest. Ako, if you can share with us how important communication is.
Yeah, communication is the key to, it's like the backbone of a relationship. It's the backbone. It's like your spine to a skeleton. It's very important. It holds the structure of the relationship. So communication is all about being open and honest with your partner and sharing your thoughts, your feelings, your concerns. And really the most important is actually being able to listen and understanding what your partner is trying to tell you. And listen without judgment.
Yeah. And I think that's something that needs to be built up in the relationship. If you feel personally attacked by your partner, if they point something out, maybe there's something there that you need to actually look into yourself. It might be an opportunity for personal and spiritual growth. And maybe there's something stuck within you that triggers you when your partner says certain things. So you have to see a balance between, okay, why is this triggering me? And if it's a blatant attack on you, maybe there's also something that your partner has to look inside of themselves to see what's bringing them to act in a certain way. And when we are being open and honest, we also have to know that we have to hold space for each other.
And holding space is a really interesting concept. Holding space is space that you create for your partner to talk to you without any judgment. It's more about listening and just, I would say it's like a venting session, but it's not like they're criticizing you or blaming you or anything like that. It's not anything that you want to take personally, but it's just something that they need to get off their chest. And I don't want you guys to think that because we're saying holding space and you can just say anything to your partner and just put them down or anything like that. That's really not the point of holding space. It's more, I think the more important thing is being able to listen without judgment and not really interrupting when they're talking. Just let them talk and get their point across. And then you can chime in as far as what you think about what they're saying.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a perfect segue to the next point, which is being respectful. And holding space is showing respect to your partner and listening without judgment and holding their concerns with respect.
Yeah. So yeah, being respectful and having respect for your partner is such an essential part of the relationship. I feel like that's one of the top 3 probably: communication, honesty, and respect. That's one of the top 3s that I would probably say is very important in keeping a relationship and discussing with their partner as far as what's on your mind or whatnot. And even during disagreements, it is very important to have that respect so that it doesn't turn into a personal attack or anything like that.
And then the last one is celebrating successes. Of course, we tend to talk about the difficulties and the challenges, but there are always successes. Ako, if you can share that story.
So yeah, we went shopping, and after we shopped, right in front of the shopping center, there's a sitting area, and today there was a live musician. So we decided to sit right in front of him. So we're eating our yogurt, enjoying the music, and the kids really enjoy live music. And so they're listening and they're eating yogurt at the same time. And so there's some spills here and there on the table, on the ground. And when we were all done, I went over to get some napkins. In my mind, it was napkins for them to wipe their mouth and wipe their hands. And because the table was clean enough, but our daughter decided to wipe down the table. And then our son decided to wipe the ground where the yogurt has dropped with the napkin. And so I thought that was such a win because they were like, hey, I'm going to clean up my mess. And it was such a great feeling. And then there was someone that was watching and they were like, oh, wow, they're so good. And it was one of those winning moments in parenting.
So Ako shared this story with me, and it's a celebration of success. It's something that we didn't need to ask our kids to do. And they did it themselves from their own accord. And what a beauty. These are the times that we see, wow, sometimes all the hard work that we put into parenting Sometimes it's there. Most of the time it's not there. We don't see it, but sometimes we do. And those things are so awesome.
Yeah. And it's also important to acknowledge to them that was such a great thing to do. Thank you for wiping the ground. Thank you for wiping the table. That was so thoughtful. So to get it ready for the next person that's going to be sitting there. So I thought that was such a win for today.
Super awesome. Thanks for sharing. And so that's in real time, in real life. That's how we share our stories and celebrate the success. So if you think this episode is helpful for other parents, please share it. And if you haven't, please take a quick moment to subscribe to our show.
And the question of the day is, what strategies have you used to effectively communicate with your partner about parenting?
We'd love to hear from you. Please come say hi by commenting on our website by going to akkoandtamo.com and clicking on the podcast tab. We're also on Instagram at akkoandtamo, so please come say hi to us there. All right, take care.
Bye.